Good afternoon, New Smyrna Beach residents. It's Mayor Fred Cleveland here. We've assembled the city emergency preparedness team. Your officials, the city manager is here, Mr. Cowper, our fire chief is here, fire and rescue chief Shawn VanDemark, and our police chief Eric Feldman. We would hope that at this time, and a date stamp is Tuesday afternoon at 5 o'clock, we want you to be as prepared as you possibly can. We want you to be informed as you possibly can. And the most informed way that we could recommend to you is following us on Facebook, following us on the New Smyrna Beach, City of New Smyrna Beach website, and on the police department and fire department websites. We want you to get the information as fast as it comes. We want you to be updated. So based on your response to this attempt to get the word out, based on your feedback, we'll do more of these if this sounds like it's rewarding for you and satisfying your needs. Right now, the city is hours away from a evacuation order issued by the county and enforced by the sheriff. And so if you are in Zone A, which many of us don't know what Zone A is, but effectively it's beachside and low-lying areas to include mobile home parks and places that typically flood, we are going to have a water event. This will be a rain event, complicated by the fact that we have not had a lot of drainage of late because the downpour has been significant, and we're going to have tidal impact, so the ability for us to drain is going to be impacted. That is the biggest event. Yes, we will have wind, but our ability to drain is going to be impacted by the tides and the saturation level that we already have. I assure you that the county, city, and HOAs have all worked together to empty the drainage ditches and canals, and we are ready as we can possibly be. This is your time to be prepared. By now you should have done your sandbagging, you should have gotten your essential medicine, your pet food, your supplies to be ready that you can hunker down. We would prefer that you not be out and about tomorrow afternoon. The storm has slowed down a bit, but beginning tomorrow afternoon, you're going to feel those first bands of wind come through. You're going to see very significant bands of rain come through, and it is not a time to be out and about. Let's take Sheriff Chitwood at his word. If you are out after the curfew starts, which is tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock, that's Wednesday evening at 8 p.m., you will be apprehended by a law enforcement officer, and fines up to $500. We want them to be able to do their job. So please, shelter in place tomorrow evening beginning at 8 o'clock. So to get this started, I thought we'd start with our city manager. So I've asked Mr. Cowper to give us a few words about what we've done citywide to get prepared for this storm. Kevin?
Well, thank you, Mayor. So we've been working on storm readiness for several days now since the storm first popped up on the radar. We have been readying our equipment, fueling in place, putting vehicles in position to respond as needed. Our crews have been out in the city cleaning out storm drains, making sure that our drainage facilities will work to their maximum capacity and ability. Citizens, you have shown up at our sandbag location. We've filled about 40,000 sandbags to date. That facility will remain open as long as we have sand. You'll be able to get it. And so City Hall and all city operations will be closed tomorrow, all non-essential operations that is. We will have emergency personnel out and ready, but the City Hall itself will be closed, as will all other city facilities. At this point in time, we plan on reopening on Friday, but that is storm dependent and may change. So please pay attention to the updates that we provide on our Facebook page and online.
Thank you, Kevin. That was very informative. Maybe you can give us more insight of how our residents can stay informed. There's a Citizens Information Center line, and if you can give them that information, that would be great. And I think you'll be manning up your Emergency Operations Center sometime soon, tomorrow morning. So maybe we could hear some details about that. And who is that's in the Emergency Operations Center, and what's your interface with the county?
Well, yes, Mayor. So the Citizen Information Center is currently manned, and operators are there to take your call and give you information. That number is 386-402-7675. And operators are there to take your calls. So if you have any questions, please give them a call. So the Emergency Operations Center will be stood up tomorrow morning starting at 8 o'clock. We've been on a partial program this week with fire department staff operating at the center, but in the morning we will have full staff available. That includes emergency personnel from police and fire, as well as our public information officers, or public works and maintenance ops folks. I'll be out there myself along with the assistant city manager. We will be getting information in and disseminating information out just as soon as we get it. We will also have representatives at the Volusia County Emergency Operations Center. We will be in touch with our person there so that we can get information directly from the county and disseminate that information out to you as quickly as we can.
I think that's very important, Kevin. Thank you very much. That CIC, or Citizens Information Line, again is 386-402-7675, in case you wanted to write that down. And that's your 1-800 number, if you will, for information. If you have any questions about the storm, or the second order effects, or when the coast is clear, or what you can do, call there and people will be there to answer your questions. I'd like to turn now to our Fire and Rescue Chief. Shawn VanDemark is here to talk about the rescue aspects, the fire preparedness, and what you can expect to see as a first responder. Should you get in trouble, how do you get in touch with one of our first responders? Shawn?
Thank you, Mayor. First and foremost, both the fire and the police department are going to be bringing staffing up to help meet the needs of the public. As far as notifying us, things are not going to change during this storm in regards to notifying. The best way to contact either the police department, fire department, or EMS is through 911. Don't use the Citizens Information Line. Use 911. They have trained staff there waiting to take your phone call. They can route it to the right department, right municipality, and get the information out to the crews that need it. With that said, we will continue to respond as long as we safely can. As the storm approaches, we will reach wind speeds that make it unsafe for us to travel throughout the streets. We may meet flooding or other lightning effects, tornadoes and things of that nature. That will limit our ability to access residents in need. Because of that, if you are in one of those evacuation zones, we highly recommend that you go ahead and take action and evacuate. That limits your exposure to the elements, and it puts you in a safe place that we don't have to come rescue you from those evacuation zones when we do shut down operations during that tenuous period. That period is not defined. It can go from a six-hour period where we don't respond all the way up to a 12-hour period where we may not be able to safely get out there and affect rescues, if you will.
Hey, Chief, thank you very much. That was a really great insight from the fire perspective. And do I have it right? Your staff is on call right now. You're manned up and ready to go.
That's correct. So our staffing is where it needs to be right now. We're waiting for the approach of the storm. When it does come, we will continue to respond as long as we safely can. And obviously, one of the key elements that will help eliminate some of that is proper evacuation, either to a relative, to another location, or ultimately a shelter if need be.
That's a great call, and I think the county's been encouraging short distance evacuation, not long distance evacuation. I'm aware that the Rosen Hotel in Orlando is offering discount rates for evacuees. So it was a citizen's tip that came in. So if you Google Rosen Hotel Orlando, a $69 rate is in place for any evacuee, and so take advantage of that. Chief, if you can't get to a hotel or you have no relative to stay with, and the county opens up the shelters, and I'm assuming the shelters will be open tomorrow, what shelters should our residents be interested in?
So our two closest shelters are going to be Creekside Middle, which is in Port Orange. The other one, which is also a pet-friendly and special needs, is the Volusia County Fairgrounds in DeLand, located right there at State Road 44 and Interstate 4.
And can you go on your own, or must you be taken, by one of your escorts?
Correct. Yeah, obviously, the easiest way to get there would be to drive your own vehicle. That gives you a vehicle to leave when the storm does pass. The key to having a good, comfortable experience in the shelter is recognizing that it is a lifeboat, not a cruise ship. It is not built for comfort, and
bring your blankets, bring your sheets, bring your pillow, bring some water, bring some snacks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. For those that plan to shelter in place, and let's say the power happens to go out for a prolonged period of time, I'm not expecting that. I'm not predicting that. Our utility commission reliability is amazingly sharp and refined these days. We have crews in place. The trucks are manned. The trucks are gassed. They're staged at the airport on high ground. They're ready to roll. So if you do lose power, just call in to the Citizens Information Line or call into the Utility Commission, and they will dispatch immediately for your rescue. But if you want to do cooking, Chief, should I fire up my grill? What should I, how do I make that work?
Absolutely. So a couple hazards that go along with the lack of power. We still need to be able to cook. So we have people who will light up a barbecue grill in a garage or inside their house. Both of those are bad ideas. In addition to that, operating a generator too close to your home, in the garage, something like that, all of those items create carbon monoxide at a pretty dangerous level pretty quickly. Carbon dioxide is odorless. Carbon dioxide is kind of a silent killer. You don't really feel the symptoms of it until it's too late, and most people just fall asleep and end up dead. So operating your generator, a safe distance from the house. Barbecuing, a safe distance from the house. Keeping everything away from open windows and what have you during the storm.
Chief, you're a veteran at this. You've been doing this for a long time, and you're a native to the area here. What does this storm and the approach of storm surge, rain amount, wind remind you of in previous storms?
Yeah, absolutely. So this storm, unlike Ian, is going to be coupled with a lot more wind than what we've had in the past. Those who lived here during Hurricane Charlie, Gene and Francis back in 2004, which is a while ago, we had a significant amount of debris, mostly tree branches, fallen trees, and what have you. This is going to be kind of a coupled event where we have both the rain, potential for flooding, and then we're going to have debris. Debris is going to be one of the longest lingering effect of this storm because it's going to be the thing that takes longest to gather together, get positioned on the side of the road, and then get it picked up.
We'll have more about the debris collection in another briefing after the storm. Right now, we want you to do not want you out cleaning your yards. We want you inside and being safe, and we'll get word back to you after the storm has passed about the debris pickup, which is an event in itself, and we have special provisions for that. Chief, thank you so very much. I appreciate you being here. I don't mean to take you from the EOC. I know that you run that operation, and we're looking forward to having a smooth event, and that your competent and capable hands and your staff will see us through to a brighter Thursday and Friday.
Excellent.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We also have our Police Chief Eric Feldman with us today to provide you some updates from the law enforcement perspective. Obviously, there are many streets which will be impassable. Our bridges are slated to go up as soon as the wind speed approaches 40 miles an hour, and when it passes that point, we will no longer be able to transit back and forth across the bridges. Certain streets are prone to flooding, and the city manager has authorized that the police department can block those off when they deem it necessary. So I'm delighted to have Chief Feldman here with us today. Chief, I'd love to hear your perspective, sir.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So we are prepared to provide public safety services during the oncoming hurricane, and I'm always pleased to talk about the fact that The police department here at New Smyrna Beach works in perfect coordination with the fire department. We run our operations together from the City Emergency Operations Center, like the mayor was talking about, and we as well will be putting together maximum staffing, and will be available 24 hours. But like the fire chief said, there will come a time when the wind speeds are too dangerous to have our patrol officers out on the road. So I would ask, please observe the evacuation order that the county has put out. Please don't make yourself part of the problem, be part of the solution. If you are still home during the storm, then stay home. And as the mayor referenced, there will come a time, due to the large amount of rain that we're expecting, that we will need to close certain roads. And what we saw in our last hurricane was, some motorists wanted to get out there as soon as possible and traverse these roads with high water. There is nothing that aggravates our residents and business owners more than when somebody goes down either Dixie or 44 and pushes water up into our residents and businesses. So please be respectful of your neighbors. And please understand that since the last hurricane, we have a new law in place. It's called the Stupid Motorist Law, and aptly named. If there are barricades up and we have closed part of a roadway due to high water, that means it is now criminal to drive around those barricades, and you will be arrested and charged criminally. So please don't do that. Please be part of the solution. Please call us if you need us. We'll do everything we can to get to provide the same public service that we always do.
Chief, that was very helpful. I appreciate that. Could you talk about two more topics, if you don't mind? I'd like to know more about the curfew and how that will be enforced and what that really means to those of us that are locals. And the other one is bridges. We always ask, we want to know, hey, when can we get back across? When were they going to close? And we know it's wind dependent, but is there a way that we can be forewarned? And is there like, okay, we're closing the bridges in half an hour or 2 hours from now? And then on the opening, I know it's after the engineering inspection is complete. Would you give us kind of a forecast of how you see that whole thing playing out?
No, that's great, Mayor. Yes, thanks for asking. Those are important questions. So bridges first. So in the simplest form, when the wind speed reaches 40 miles an hour or so, the County Emergency Operations Center will declare that it's unsafe to keep all of the bridges in the county open, and we will shut the bridges down. So what that means, Mayor, is we are actually going to have police officers and water barricades, and we are going to shut the north and south causeway bridges down. So my advice to our beachside residents is to, if you have not already evacuated, and we certainly encourage you to follow the county evacuation order and do so, but if you find yourself still in your house post-evacuation, then you need to watch the wind speed, because once it hits that 40-mile-an-hour wind speed, do not expect to be able to cross that bridge. And please, by not evacuating your home, you are putting our patrol officers at risk should you need help, because then we have to traverse those same unsafe bridges to come and offer you assistance. And it's the same thing with the fire department. The curfew starts tomorrow. It's a county-wide curfew ordered by the sheriff. It starts at 8 o'clock. Again, I would ask that you respect that order. And let me make it perfectly clear. If we see you out after 8 o'clock, then my officers will stop you and have a conversation with you. So please abide by that curfew that is in place, and we will be enforcing it citywide.
Really helpful. Chief, can you talk about what we do for normal, I would say routine calls, but routine law enforcement issues? Will that be taking place, or is everything on lockdown and we're only taking emergency calls? How will that work?
Yeah, so one thing we've done better as a city since the last hurricane, Mayor, is we've invested in some more high water vehicles and some vehicles that are more aggressive, that so we can stay out a little bit longer. However, there will be a time. We'll continue our normal service, responding to all 911 calls and patrol duties until such a time that it's just unsafe to have our officers on the road in their vehicles. At that time, and usually it's when the winds get closer to like 60 miles an hour, then I'm going to order everybody to go back to the police department and shelter in place till the wind dies down a little bit, which is why it's so important that our residents understand that and stay home. And fair warning to any criminal element out there that wants to take advantage of a national emergency like a hurricane to do harm to their neighbors or to our businesses, we will respond with a very strict posture in those cases.
Really good. I appreciate that. So if I don't have an emergent need, but I need to talk to a police officer, call the regular non-emergent number. And if I have any emergency at all, whether it be of a police nature or a fire rescue nature, just dial 911.
That's it, Mayor. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're here.
Thanks, Mayor.
We hope this has been informative and helpful for you in this hour of need for our great city. It's typically an awesome place to be. This time of year, we are prone to hurricanes, and this is our second of the year, hopefully our last of the year, but we are still in hurricane season. We appreciate the neighborliness that we've seen demonstrated out in the streets at the sandbag site where neighbor is helping neighbor. We understand that it's a giving town. We also understand that generally we are a law-abiding town, and we would like everyone to come away safe, healthy, and unharmed after this event. So please, relax, stay home, do the things that you would normally do at home. Don't get out and be adventurous. If you see power lines down, do not go out and investigate. If you hear noises, please stay inside. We will give you an all-clear signal as soon as possible. Stay tuned to our website. Stay tuned to WSBB. Go on social media of any sort, either the police department, fire department, or the city of NSB, and we will do our best to get the word to you. Be safe.